I love it.
Hello, and welcome back to SideQuest 14. Hello. There we go. Hello, welcome to SideQuest 14, your podcast for your weekly whatever. This is the podcast for a time where you don't really care. It's a side quest. You can finish it, you don't have to. Just know that the format goes as planned. We have NPC news. That starts us off first. That's the first segment. And then we finish it off with Batman Zero Year Part 2 book. So we're actually going to be on, I believe, Part 9 of Batman Zero Year. And I think it's a 12 story book. Yep, Part 9. But with that, I'm going to get right into it. Okay? So, with that, we start off with NPC news. So, welcome to NPC news. This is NPC news. Why is it NPC news? Because I'm the NPC. You just have to listen to it. So, with that, we're going to start off with celebrity news. And boy, I did all this yesterday. It was not exactly great. Fun to find out because there wasn't really much going on that really related to celeb gossip or news. Because it all was more or less gossip, crap that really nobody should care about. And I really think nobody should care about. And yeah, it kind of led right into movies / TV shows. So it's going to be a little bit of mismatch here. I know I'm going to miss stuff for this week, but I'm just doing a little side quest. This is not meant to be like your main news source. So with that, we do have Keanu Reeves announced a motorcycle racing docuseries, Hooligans, the Arc Racing Project, or Arch. So I looked a little bit into it. It looked like either was out already, but the only other thing I could say is that if it is out already, it's about him and his buddies racing team. Then I have one of the few only stories I was able to find because it's everywhere and I honestly don't give a crap. I don't know who's out programming the algorithm, but it's taken too much. The Swift and Kelsey security in Manhattan have security in Manhattan to prepare for crazy fangirls. So I don't know what to tell you on that. I just wrote here, big who cares. If you are celebrities, you want to do it in Manhattan, go ahead. The fact that people are obsessing over it, that's the big who cares, is that I mean by it. And it's like, why? Like, you'll have people that disagree with you, I'm sure. And like or people, I'm going off of this. There's like, you'll have people that disagree with you if you are a celebrity of whatever you say. But then you have, I'm thinking, but then you also have the crazy people like, was it the guy that shot John Lennon, who got his autographed earlier that day? Well, you have those crazies as well. If you can't be with you, no one can. So there's crazies on both aisles of that. So I don't know. It's just one of those things of like, it doesn't really mean much to me. I think, well, granted, the fact that I am a Packers fan and that Kelsey was on the Kansas City Chiefs, and boy, was I not a fan of him. Doesn't matter what I think. It's just I didn't like the play. So it's nothing personal towards him. It's just that's the play. I'm not a fan. So that's why having all this celebrity news with him is just kind of like, who cares? Anyway, so that was more of that. Tom Cruise was spied doing stunts in London. High altitude helicopter sequence over the Thames. So that actually is going to branch us into the movies news portion, because when I went to go see Supergirl this last weekend with my daughter, we did a double feature. We went to go see Toy Story 5, and then we waited like a half hour, 40 some minutes, and then went to go see Supergirl. So I just remember at the I'm not going to talk about Supergirl just yet. When I went to see Supergirl, they had trailers, obviously, different trailers from Toy Story, different age bracket kind of stuff. There was one that was on both of them, but it was very, I don't want to say, it was artsy, kind of like there's the one stop motion animation artsy style, like there's this one stop motion animation film that I remember seeing. I haven't actually seen it. I've seen shorts of it on YouTube about like these dogs fighting over garbage, and it turns out it's a very gruesome kind of movie. So it's got that kind of style of animation. I know my old lady, she would not like that at all. So I did warn her. But it also reminds me of the movie Flow, if you haven't seen that on HBO Max. Good movie. Makes you sad. Can't say much more than that. It is exactly. Hold on. Yep. Oh, great. We banned the guy. Great. Awesome. Spam detected. Sweet. I got auto mods going, so I'm actually happy about that now. So then I actually have a screen open to make sure I'm actually making sure it's going down. We're gonna skip more so on the what came out this last week news until the end of the movie news. We have Comcast is separating its film and TV studios into a standalone company. So, I don't know. I'm trying to think of myself with how the world is currently acting and doing. We have Comcast, and if I remember, Comcast is back when I used to watch TV shows back on like ABC, but I could be wrong. I don't know what they could have been, making. I should probably have looked that up if I really wanted to, but I'm an NPC, so I chose not to. So, I just remember, I can understand it being a big business move, a subsidiary company. I can see it being a big business move, and if you want to look into it, that's on your prerogative. So, moving on to Evil Dead Wraith finished up principal photography in New Zealand. Do I know what that means? No, but do you? Did I explain it? All right, fine. Let's look up the definition of principal photography. I have clicky keys, so they double press everything. Principal. Man, I am photography. That was actually 1, 2, 3, 4 after finishing what I was writing. Sorry. So I didn't actually. Hold on. I need to make sure that I'm not that I can have. Okay, so I don't actually have what's it called open. So hold on. Left line, no, the web window. There we go. And transition to that. Okay, so I don't have any music right now, but as you can see, right there. Let's actually see if I can make this bigger. There you go. There's your definition. Principal photography is the primary phase of filmmaking, phase of filmmaking or television production where the bulk of the main footage is shot. So what's the difference between that and wrapped filming? I suppose reshoots. All right. I can see where that's going. Hold on. Now I gotta make this back to. Oh wait, I just realized it didn't transition. There you go. Whoops. Oh well. You move something out of the way. You think it works. It doesn't work perfectly like you want it to. Oh well. We can get that back to. I might have forgotten that I have to turn that off as the transition thing. That's fine. But now you know what the principal photography is, so that means most of it was shot in New Zealand. So now we know that. Can it be the same as? Will it be the same as going to 1980s? Was it Michigan? Interesting. I don't think so. When I think of New Zealand, I think of Lord of the Rings. I think of like maybe Harry Potter, if anything. Like, okay, big landscapes and wide open kind of. But when it comes down to maybe a forest, and yes, I am going back and thinking on the Fellowship of the Ring, and who knows where that forest was? Probably in New Zealand, but I don't know for certain. So I will say, like where Aragorn deflected the blade, Boromir died, you know, all that stuff. Do I think it gives it the Evil Dead feel? I don't know. If you want endless force, maybe feeling. Anyways, streaming. Everybody is clearing out Project Hail Mary on sorry, read that wrong. Streaming, everybody's checking out Project Hail Mary on Prime Video since that came out on July 3rd. So, I mean, great time for it, I guess. It's holiday weekend. It was a Friday. Most people probably have off. That's why I didn't understand why Supergirl and Toy Story all came out like about the same time. Or at least not on the weekend. They were just trying to be like, I don't want to compete with Minions and Monsters in Washington. I don't know. Either way, that will bring us down to Netflix greenlights War Machine 2, if you were interested. I don't know what War Machine 1 was, but that's fine. I have Netflix. I could technically watch it. Could I technically watch it? Maybe not. I don't have the time. I'm doing this. I'm doing work. And then I'm doing... I have my kids that I have to take care of. So that's usually how my weekends get. So with that, so now we can go into Toy Story 5. We'll start with that. Toy Story 5, this is second week. I wrote down quick things of this. Minions and Monsters, first week, that I know, made $37 million domestically. We have Toy Story 5 that made $30.3 million, and Supergirl went down to $8.6 million that that second week. And then we have Young Washington raking in a $19.4 million in third place there of that list. So, that being said, the whole thing when it comes down to Toy Story 5, my opinion, I think it was actually a pretty decent story. I was expecting a cash grab story. Honestly, I felt it had a better story. Updating your input frame rate to 32. I don't know input frame rate. I don't know why my input frame rate's not, 30. FPS, but that's something to do with after time. I guess you guys can technically increase your quality if it looks terrible. It's going to automatically go terrible first, but who knows if that's going to affect the streaming. I don't think so. Not at this point. But yeah, bringing Woody back, kind of being in the area, I think was nice. I was really convinced that after Toy Story 4 that Woody was just going to roam the world or something, and that was kind of like, alright. I do like the fact that they have a thing of toys wanting to be played that have been abandoned. I think I like that part of the story. The screens, it's very conflicting on how I feel about that, because on one end it's like, oh yeah, no, I like the parts where they're like, oh, screens are taking over the world, or basically they're taking away, they're not playing, kids aren't playing. And boy, it reminded me of when I was a kid, when there was like the little electronics that half electronic, half toy, because then you'd have stuff that looks like freaking what's it called? In the movie there was like a hippo looking thing, like a charger or GPS, a hippo looking GPS. And first of all, that already blew me away, because I'm like, why would a kid want a GPS? Then again, look at the AirPods. So I guess that was an original play on that. Be like, hey, everybody has an AirPod. No. So there's that. The change of heart at the end from the main villain, because didn't make the right friend. It seemed like, oh, I care. It seemed like it was blind. It was blind caring. And then it became suddenly, it felt like the switch happened unnaturally, like a little bit. Be like, granted, when a little girl cries, you gotta stop and take the, I don't know. Part of me liked it. I'll say this. I liked it more than probably I like Supergirl. Then again, I can't give Supergirl a fair shot right now. And why am I giving it an unfair advantage in that case? Is because I didn't actually get to watch all of it. I think I missed like 4 or 5 minutes of it. Well, you think that 4 or 5 minutes changed everything? Probably not. The only problem that gave me was that it was during like a pivotal moment. My daughter ended up having to go to the bathroom. So, and this was, if you haven't, and by the way, we did go through the entire comic. So, and yes, I do believe the comic was done better. It touched more on the side of genocide, which I think was a good way to do, play off the villain in that case. And the brigadiers, or I'm blanking on the name. It starts with a B. Not bandits, but I want to say it's brigadiers. But either way, I also felt like they took away the story. The main story element of the comic was that it was being told through the girl that wanted to avenge her father, and the whole point of the story was that she learns over time that it's wrong to take a life through the actions of Supergirl, whereas it's the inverse for Supergirl, where she starts off moral, but then ends up being corrupted by the end of it, only to be redeemed by the girl in the movie, or in the book, which I think played well. I thought Lobo was going to be doing a different thing. It turns out he was actually a hero. I was not expecting that. Hero. I feel like the next appearance is probably for Lobo is probably going to be in another PG-13, or unless Gunn decides to make an R-rated film, to kind of be like, all right, MCU's PG, PG and PG-13 movies, and DC would be PG-13 R movies. I think it's a decent idea. Do I want to go with it? I don't know. We'll see on how the next movie goes. But when it comes down to Supergirl, I like the thought that they brought the Green Sun. That was a nice thing to call back. I don't like the way they implemented it though, because but then again, if you have read the comic, she just goes and gets a horse and flies across and out of the universe to escape a magic ball. I don't think that would have played well in a movie. So fair is fair, but I feel like the magic ball, it would have played off better if you made the villain more genocidal, because the magic ball you can only get via genocide. So I feel like it would have raised the danger factor when it came down to it, and be like, okay, bring the original comic story of having Supergirl and, man, I'm terrible that I forgot her name, because I know Krem's the bad guy. Krem sends Supergirl and the little girl to a planet where they specifically built for Superman as a prison planet to basically kill him, because it's a kryptonite sun. And she's talking during the comic this entire time that they made this whole thing because they hate Kal-El. And the whole point of this thing is that, oh yeah, he only could survive like 45 minutes. He says the most pain he's ever felt, or hardest thing he's ever had to deal with in 45 minutes. Well, guess what they had to do? Survive for an hour, whereas, because Justice League came in, I guess, rescued him. Okay, after 45 minutes, because they knew he was missing or something like that. Either way, they had the last 10 hours until the sunset. They kind of did the same thing. That's the part I missed. Of there are two people in jail. I'm not giving out spoilers. You probably could guess. And then you have another person who's on. I don't know if this is a deadly planet at that point. And I don't know what the hell happened. Did the sun set? Did something happen? I don't know. That's why I missed it. I think Jason Momoa played a decent Lobo. I feel like he could have been more foul-mouthed. Then again, he did say Bastich a couple times, so I do appreciate that. So, with that, that was Supergirl, my take on Supergirl. Quick early reaction. I don't think I'm going to be going super more into that unless you want me to. Then, let's go on to show news. We have X-Men 97 Season 2 surprise release, the first 3 episodes at the turn of the month. So, earlier this month. So, probably 3rd or 2nd, depending on... I would assume so, because this was it was the 4th of July week. Congratulations, 4th of July weekers. You survived another day like the rest of us. So if you saw that, let me know how it is. I saw the first season. I thought it was decent. I don't know if I finished it, actually. I feel like I did. It's been out. It's been a while. So then we got Enola Holmes hits Netflix for holiday, featuring Millie Bobby Brown and Henry Cavill. I don't know if that was a movie or a show, but either way, I feel like I've heard it before. But it sounds like, what was it? The old Fox show about a female Sherlock Holmes. I don't know if this is about like the daughter of Holmes or something, or because I haven't heard it, but you hear Holmes, and you think, oh yeah, no, that's definitely Sherlock Holmes story, background, all that kind of stuff. So, okay, good. Then we have Legally Blonde prequel TV show arrived on Prime Video called Ellie. I feel like that was season 2. So, I'm just kind of surprised they made a Legally Blonde prequel TV show. I don't even know a damn thing about Legally Blonde. I'm not a woman. I was raised in the 2000s, but boy, did I not know about Legally Blonde. All I just figured was a blonde bimbo when I heard Legally Blonde. Now that I'm older, I can only think of Lawyer Blonde. Okay, making a prequel. I thought I heard it was a. I thought I heard it was a. What is it? Legally Blonde. Shit. Sorry, language. Should not have said that. Trying to get better with my language. It's just. Why? It's a comedy. Or, yeah, that's what I thought. Or that's what I thought. I don't know. Legally Blonde prequel TV show that takes place in college. I think I did. I looked at. Yeah, I took a look at it, and I don't know. Is this? It feels like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air like revive, but like another thing. Except maybe I don't know. It gave me the vibe of that kind of like stream. I like, oh, you like 90210? You'll like this. I don't even know what 90210 is, even though that came out my time, I think. I don't know. I think maybe late 90210. I don't know. I prefer my own way of things. When I like movies, I like let's say A Beautiful Mind. That's a movie that's great. Like when it comes down to it. But it would be like making a Naked Gun prequel. I don't know if it will work too well, but it could. That's essentially how I feel with that. Music, Ariana. Okay, I got a bit. Okay, so I guess this was a good music week when it came down to it. Granted, it was the first of the month, which is a lot of announcements. Ariana Grande dominating single streaming charts. Hate That I Made You Love Me. I feel like I heard that one. What? No, I Love the Way You Lie is what I'm thinking of. But with that, I don't know. I never heard it. Don't listen to it. I have YouTube Premium, so that gives me YouTube music, so I can just look up stuff. And I think I ended up going on. I ended up or taking my kids to their babysitter. Turns out I had Anal T101 pop up right away, and that's a YouTuber. He makes his own music. I no thing. I made my own thing. Am I going to publish it? I don't know. It might be just my own little home project kind of thing. I just like dabbling in stuff. It's always fun, especially like I like dabbling in stuff is always fun. I'll get more into that later. But yes, I do have my own like a little thing. Granted, I use yeah, I use a microphone. Yay. I use a microphone. Yeah. What is that gonna do? You'd be surprised that I've been using what's it called? Let me find it. No. Oh, it's not the main program. What was it called? Because I use Ableton Live 12 Lite. And where is my... Oh, there it is. There's Stream Elements. Okay. Either way, I've been using... There it is. Doubler 2. If you don't know, if you can't really do much with music, but you have a tune, that's my way of going about it. Doubler 2. Not an ad or sponsor, just saying what I've been using to dabble in my own music theory. Does it work? I haven't posted anything, so you can guess. So, I mean, maybe I'll post something eventually, or maybe I'll just do it as background music or do something like that. I like dabbling. It was fun. Foreign Tongues, Rolling Stones' second album since the death of drummer featuring the Dead Drummer, and this is coming out later in the month. Specifically, I want to say like in the next couple days. It's either midway through the month or very shortly. It's not at the end of the month. You can count on that, in my opinion. Actually, not in my opinion.
I love it.
That was a bad press.
Allegedly.
Yes. You can take it with a grain of salt. But let's see. So it does feature some recordings from their drummer, old drummer, passed on drummer, in old sessions. Paul McCartney is also apparently supposed to be on this. Steve Winwood, The Cure's Robert Smith, and Chad Smith from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Oh, I have it right here. July 10th. There we go. Sorry, I had to go through the notes. There we go. So we have that. So if you are interested in that, there's that. Or old news there. Or not technically old news. Old music people news. And then what is out now is we got Splat by Deep Purple. I did give one of their songs a listen. The music sounds good, but I feel like they could have used a younger singer. No offense, or at least sang it when they were younger. That's all I can think of. Maybe AI will do that. Maybe AI might not, because it is its own song, and they made it while they were old. I think it sounds great. I like the music. I like the guitar riff on that one song that I listened to. It was about a bad child. Bad child. Deep Purple. Too much U's and too much R. Deep Purple, what was it called? Splat. Deep Purple Splat. Yes, Deep Purple. Where is the songs? There we go. Arrogant Boy. That's the one I was listening to. It sounded all right. I liked it. That was the first one on the album, so it is a beginning thing. So do tell. Anyways, moving on to other news. We have news, and the actual news. Funny enough, actual news coming out of California. Funny enough, even more. Enacts a ban on sell-by food labels. And I mean like sell-by. Like if you go to the store, it says sell by this date. And then you have food labels just to make it. And I think California did a good thing. Funny enough. California did a good thing by banning the sell-by date. And instead is making it use by. Be the uniform thing. And with that, I think it's actually a good idea, because it is confusing to have a sell-by date, because it's like, you can eat that after that, right? Best if used by means like, okay, well, probably shouldn't have this after this point in time. Like, there's a good chance it could be moldy or something like that. And funny enough, I've gotten stuff from places that you save it for a day, and yeah, the next day it's moldy. So not great. And then I did find this out yesterday after I got done writing my NPC news, is that Xbox is laying off a bunch of people. Let me just do a quick check on the Xbox layoffs. There was a whole big thing with a Twitter. Let's just see if I can get the quote. Okay, so with the quote, I made a difficult decision to reduce our team by approximately 3,200 jobs. This will include about $1,600 role eliminations today. Oh, wow. So that is just it's just gone, those people, and where they came from, honestly, I believe that it might be a good thing, because I haven't heard likely ban evader restricted. What? Timeout ban. Okay, well, there we go. Sorry. We had banned for spam, you know. So Xbox out of employees, but what were those employees doing? Do I know? No, but clearly if you have to eliminate over 1,000 jobs, you weren't doing the best job. I mean, if you have to lay off like a couple, even like 50 people, like, and that's just cutting here and there. If you're doing just here and there kind of stuff, that's fine. That means you're still like you're cutting out the loose ends. This is you're trimming the fat. You are getting lipo, is what it looks like here when it comes down to Xbox. That's my opinion on that. And then finally, we have Star Wars news. So we have leaks from private European media industry conference. Boy, is that a lot to write down and say at the same time. Disney showed the first real footage of Star Wars Starfighter. Now, was I a part of that? No. Where am I getting my information from? The internet. What does that mean for the future? It means we're not going to probably see anything more until we get something more concurrent with what we want. Honestly, I think if people were to, if they wanted people to see Starfighter, they would. And they would show people, probably more important people than me. Like, for example, Star Wars Theory, I think. You have any other freaking Star Wars channel that they would be like, oh yeah, no, I'd love to see it. Granted, there was one Star Wars channel that I recall that was just shilling for everything Disney. So with that, I don't know if that's a good idea. Granted, you got to look up the right audience into it. You can't just look up the artsy fartsy people, because then you get the Rian Johnson lovers. And yes, it is a good movie in that sense. But is it the movie overall? No. It's not. It makes no connection with the feel of the original, or at least even the last movie, in my opinion. I'm sorry, but the banter didn't help. The thrown in love story for no reason didn't help. The overarching result of the movie didn't help, and then it led to the catastrophe that is The Last Jedi. Or no, not The Last Jedi, The Rise of Skywalker. Anyways, just an opinion there. But Starfighter, Ryan Gosling's in it. That's all I really know. And then the other thing that I found out is that it's post Skywalker timeline. So we're going after Episode 9 for Star Wars Starfighter movie. So could that have happened? I could see it, but right now it seems like they were just showing investors like, see, we're making movie does stuff. Movie make money, just like Mandalorian Grogu. Oh, don't get me started on that one. Then we have the ninth Jedi, the anime trailer for the anime trailer for expansion to the standalone story in Visions Volume 1. I have, funny enough, not yet seen Visions at all, or 1 or 2. So, me personally, I don't know really much about it. However, I feel like I'm going to be getting into that very soon because my daughter's been getting more into Studio Ghibli films. So we've watched Howl's Moving Castle, we've watched Spirited Away, and guess what's coming to theaters this Friday or this weekend? My Neighbor Totoro for a Studio Ghibli Fest or something like that. I don't know. It just happens to be, and so she's been telling me all weekend about that, and so we're gonna possibly go see that. We have. So yeah, there's that. I should probably start watching that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's going. It's going. Star Wars The Experience National Artifact Tour was announced for a 5-year tour starting in Philadelphia's Franklin Institute. That I am incredibly interested in. It's, from what I saw, it's supposed to have stuff from, I'm assuming, the iconic movies, but as well as The Mandalorian and Grogu and other current shows and maybe the current TV thing, or not TV thing, the current timeline when it comes down to mainly Rey. That's usually how Disney tends to set this crap up when it comes down to it. Of promote the new stuff, forget the old, if they keep that up. So let's see, continued. Sorry. And that was NPC News. Thank you. Thank you.
You're a stupid dumbass.
Thank you. Now that we have that, I'd like to thank you for NPC News. That was NPC News. Now we can move on to Batman Zero Year. So, now we get to the point, we are getting to the point where this cover makes sense. And I say that like this. I am doing this as I'm going through all this in order. I will tell you what's going on. I did realize that as I was writing onto this, that I didn't actually mention what the last titles were when it comes down to Zero Year, because Zero Year Part 9 is technically is the start of Savage City, whereas here we go. Whereas the last one, or last story arc, was Dark City, and that Dark City I would assume was with the villain of Dr. Hellfern or Dr. Death. So moving on to that. So last we saw Riddle 2 get activated. Batman crash into the city, flooding. The flood retaining walls broke. Police blimps crashing into buildings. Well, there's also a flashback collage of Bruce meeting, or no, well, it's not. That's a different one. While there's also a flashback of Bruce's parents being shot in front of him. So that's how the last one ended. See? So. And again, I'm going to try describing this the best I can because this is technically a podcast. So anything when it comes down to the visual side, I will let you know if you do. This is on YouTube if you do decide to come back. So we're going to start off with the beginning of part 9 of Zero Year, and we flash back to a college-age Bruce. He's meeting a Julie girl to take her cross country away from the girls' dorm. You find it out he's actually climbed up the building with a rope, it seems. Can't really tell what it's latched onto, but this is also, again, as I said, pre-Batman days. So he's about to take her from about what she says, 5th story window, or 50 feet up, which I can only assume would be a 50-story window. I could be wrong. Bruce notices her forehead is bloody and it's running down her face because she's like, oh, like, and it makes not really any sense because he's technically looking at her right there. He's like, oh. He's looking at her, he's talking to her, he whacks on the window. What's wrong? I can't tell. And then you have Savage City, the opening next to it. This is by Scott Snyder, penciler Greg Capullo, and inker Danny Mickey. I feel like the inkers are the ones who keep changing. And here's the other curious thing that you keep seeing here and there, is that you always keep seeing a symbol of what appears to be a robin symbol. I don't know if you can tell. That might be flipped around. But it has a robin symbol on it. And it's a cup of water with a bug on it. And you see Bruce is waking up. And he goes into the room to find a Thomas. And not just any Thomas, a Duke Thomas. Alright, I just wanted to make sure I'm where I'm at with my notes. And they are at the Thomas residence. Duke Thomas is one of 4. He's messing with a crossword that, during this entire time. And he's saying stuff. He's asking Bruce something. You know, a 7-letter word for unfractured integer. And then he ends up telling Bruce of what's going on a little bit in the city. A little bit. So Bruce, let's see, where's the where is the time lapse? Okay, so Duke is messing with the crossword as Bruce sees what Riddler calls 0 year. So Riddler's the one who's calling this the 0 year. It's all, the city has been overgrown by plants and buildings are destroyed. But Bruce does ask him. I don't know why this isn't on this, but Bruce asks how long he's been out since the new year, and Bruce says, "What? Last I remember, it was the end of summer." So we're talking about August kind of time frame. And it's already, as you can see, not snowing in Gotham. You might not be able to see if you aren't, but it is not snowing in Gotham. It's all overgrown with plant life and buildings broken. Yeah. And then there's also, at this time, Gordon climbing around, and he's still around. He's getting into a position on a building rooftop, nearly slips and falls, but he gets on the building rooftop and he calls someone. Don't know who it is, but cut back to Bruce Wayne. Riddler has control of cell services. However, Bruce Wayne, oh yeah. As a Mr. Riddler's everywhere. He's watching over the whole city. He's protecting it. No one comes in or out until Gotham gets smart. And so, going into my notes here. So, with Riddler controlling technically the cell services, Bruce is rich enough to call Alfred on like a specialized number. And Bruce tells Al, after the crashing down into the city, he ditched his Batman outfit and crawling away from the crash and then blackness. That's all he's kind of saying. And he wakes up to the city and then sees it. Alfred tells Bruce all is lost, 9% beyond repair of the entire border of the city, and the center is overgrown. when it comes down to this whole area. Riddler is secretly hiding in the city somewhere. No one's been able to find him. The tunnels are flooded. The bridges are rigged to blow, so that's why nobody can come in. Aside from outside deterrents, or, well, weather balloons are above the city, ready to spray chemicals, and basically take the whole city down in case more people were to follow. So that is Riddler's hostage situation that he's got of the city. He did it by the Powers Corporation robots and using the Red Hood gang members with threatening them because Riddler had all their files on that and threats for the Red Hood. So there's your manpower and there's your enforcement right there. Let's see. So, and how the city got overgrown so fast is like the flooding spread Dr. Isley's research into the streets. So that was one of the things that Riddler stole, was the research from Dr. Isley way back at the very beginning of Dark City. Which, and I'm saying the beginning of Dark City basically started, in my opinion, with Dr. Helfer. Which I believe that is the case. I could be wrong.
Allegedly.
Okay. So, the floods, tunnels, okay. First, many resisted. Now only a few are left. Al says that it is time to help the police and Bruce Wayne in the Bruce Wayne way through the Batman methods. Essentially, you have a you have an old cave in the city. There's a way to use that to get people out. Go do that, is what Alfred's saying at this time. Okay, just wanted to make sure. So there is that. Through the Batman methods, Bruce sets, and then Bruce basically sets to take off. Let's see. All right. While Gordon is not so going back to Gordon at this time is in position, and then he calls out no, 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 as 5 paratroopers be coming in on his position. And I don't know why I said that like that. Be coming in. It's just is not what I meant. Anyway, Duke then explains why he and his family can't go, because Bruce was like, come with me, I can get you out of the city. So they are sick. They had to actually, I think, use some of the medicine that they used on his family for Bruce. So Duke explains, and Duke is working on the crossword to come up with a riddle. Now, that's the Riddler's game. Well, the whole reason for this is Riddler gives 1 shot a day to free the city. Tell him a riddle he can't solve, and he frees the city. And that's the whole thing on why Duke Thomas is currently working on riddles, because he's trying to outsmart the Riddler and come up with a riddle that he can't solve. Whereas then we cut back to Gordon. Gordon's not happy with the 5 paratroopers coming in. Why? Because he's like, I need more men. Because he's like, I tried finding you a blind spot and you only send 5 guys. Then that's it. So, moving on to DevGru. That's I guess the place that ended up, that's the place that ended up, what was it? Tactical approach. Let's see. they wanted a tactical approach, saying Gordon handled a man in a bat costume, and the guys in suits can do it for a living. So they're kind of making fun of him, saying, like, so Gordon's like, tactical. I've risked my family, my friends, trying to find what might be a geographical blind spot for you, on the promise of that you come in with a real team, with real resources. Instead, you come in early with 5 men in spacesuits. What the hell have we been playing smoke signals for? And so, oh yeah, here's the quote I was looking for. From what I understand, you're a cop who likes to pal around with stupid psychos in bat suits. Yeah, I didn't. That's not what he said verbatim, but he definitely swore. So then Gordon then starts moving the team while the Riddler does his daily ask for a riddle. So there is that. So after the Riddler's opening monologue, Bob Chi, former lead strategist at the Powers Industry until Riddler took his job at the time. So this is how he got the Powers robots. So this Bob Chi challenged Riddler with a riddle. So again, many people, but then now not so many people. Okay, so even though okay, so I'll just go with this. I'll just go this quote for quote. All right, my riddle is there were. Okay, I gotta read. Gotta be focused. Just focus. All right, my riddle is there once were 2 turtles trying to cross a river, but each alone they're both blind, says the Riddler in response. And to his surprise, how did you know I made that riddle up? And Riddler explains, given your obsession with sonic warfare, Bob, not to mention the awful jazz library you left behind, it's not a great leap to assume the riddle would lean towards a sort of auditory snobbery. Some fact about listening, and since turtles have no ears, I can only assume that well, you get the idea. And then Riddler ends up casting them into the hole. Whatever hole this is, he's just standing on ground, and then I guess the trapdoor goes, and I guess if it is a trapdoor, it is a trapdoor. It just, or maybe he's just standing on something, or a grate or something. Either way, he wormed food at that point. He fell down. He failed the riddle challenge there. Excuse me. So, with Don Chi gone, even though the riddle was made, Riddler got that. So, not liking people cheating the system, Gordon and the squad get caught. A light bulb, a street lamp actually turns on, or some lamp, even though it looks like they're on the roof still. Or no, a street lamp turns on right at the end of it. And yes, then they get a drone comes and shines a light on them. That's where I was misremembering, because there is a street lamp that turns on. Anyhow. So, Riddler then, let's see. So, the men, the spacesuit men, offer $50 million, and Riddler refuses. Gordon is extremely pissed off. He's just like, what? You decided to just give up? Be like, pay him and be done with that? And the Riddler's like, this is not that kind of game. We're not talking about that. We don't need that money. This isn't that game. So he's offers up the game of dominoes, but this time he takes a bulldozer and he ends up smacking the base of a building. Why? To create dominoes. So now they have buildings slowly dominoing towards them. However, Riddler also explains, because there's multiple drones here, that he has also got his robots, or his motion tracking robots, set to them. So if they move, they will get shot. The rules, well, they're a little different than you might expect, but familiar enough. Ring around the rosy. The key is to be fast pupils. Now I programmed these killer robots in a ring around you. I've set their DVTs to MD. You know what that is? Motion detection, Mr. Enigma. Now, Powers' tech is slow to accept change, so you may have time to get off one shot, Lieutenant, before they open fire. But likely just that one, so make that the right one. So, motion detective killer robots. So they're trying to so Gordon's trying to figure out what to do while the building's slowly falling towards them. Batman, however, in the shadows, and he's not revealed himself. Batman in the shadows. Where is it? Batman, blah blah blah. Yeah, that's right. Batman in the shadows tells Gordon to shoot the camera drone. The one that isn't a motion detective killing robot. So after waiting until the drone... So Gordon ends up shooting the camera drone. And in the effort of the camera drone moving, because it got shot, the robots start shooting the motion, which is the drone. The camera drone starts shooting, then the shooting one starts doing that, and they all start moving and shooting each other. Being Batman from the shadows again, saying, "Stay still, don't move a muscle until they taking each other out," because you could definitely interrupt that cycle by moving. Be like, all right, that's it. So they're still trapped though, the men. But Batman ends up taking out the base of a tower, a water tower, with it, and gets the men to cross just in time as the last domino building comes crashing down. Again, podcast form. Don't need to see what's going on, but I don't know if I showed you anything. Turns out I didn't show a damn thing, so it didn't matter. I just looked over and I'm like, oh, it's not there. Anyway, so you got one of the space soldier guys panting and said, "Was that him, Lieutenant? The one who helped us?" That was it. And then Alfred ends up going into the water, retracting a little buoy-like thing, which has a note saying, "I'll catch the next one," with a smile on Alfred's face. And Gordon, on the other hand, at this point, is saying, "Gentlemen, meet my friend, the frickin' psycho in a bat suit," no offense, none taken, which is Batman. So he's back. And Gordon does ask, "What took you so long?" And Batman's says, "I was doing a crossword. Caught on a 6-letter word for hit or miss. The answer, Lieutenant, was strike." And then Gordon responds, "Damn right, call me Jim." And that would be the end of that issue when it comes down to Batman Zero Year. Savage City Part 9. Well, there's Savage City at least. But I want to thank you for coming for that. If you have any concerns or questions, please let me know. Leave a comment down below. I am Jay Ellensworth. This is my channel on YouTube. If you're on Twitch, YouTube, I do appreciate you. If you wanted to comment down below, I appreciate it. Leave a like, follow, subscribe if you're on YouTube. I do appreciate it. You can always come back and watch these on the live. And I will be moving on to getting ready for work. Either that or I can technically take another half hour. I could technically take another half hour to go into deep dive mode on stuff. So maybe we could do that since we are... Hold on. I'm going to transition, hold on, to live mode. What should we look up? Top news. Top trending news now. All right. Let's try that. Preview. Why are you considered preview properties? No. I don't know what you are. Maybe I need to... Let's delete that. Because here's the thing. President Trump announced the U.S.-Iran ceasefire agreement over the following military exchange. That's not the news I wanted. I want top trending, I guess, industry news. Just do that. Okay, let's just go with that. AI. I don't know what that is. We're going to add some background, right? Alerts. Okay, hold on. Oh, no. It sounded like I was hearing two things. Don't know. Real quick. Come on. Left monitor capture, maybe? No. No, we don't do that. Where do I add my source? Add source. There we go. Media. Existing. That's weird. Where's my thing? Dark Fantasy Studio. Well, I'm going to just delete that. Okay, so if that's not that, how do I do? What am I using for my other things? Podcast, dark. Okay, so it is just that. Okay, so media. I'm just gonna loop. All right. Let's try Dark Rider. Why is it saying preview? Close file when active. Show nothing when playback ends. That's not... Huh. Well. I don't know what's going on here. That's weird. I might have to just work on this because I don't know where my sound is. Because, turn that down. Sorry. So it's confusing the crap out of me. I don't know. Hold on, let's can I copy this source? Let's try that. And add source, paste. Where is it? There's a bunch of voice mod stuff. Audio capture, background. But it's not there. I don't know. Advanced audio properties, game card. It's not an active source for some reason. Why are you telling me preview? That's the problem I have. Lock, volume, rename, properties. I'm so confused. Well, this was a weird thing. Uh-oh. Oh my goodness, stop. Stop. Nope. Wait, no. Oh wait, stop. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm starting to do other things, so, and I don't think anybody would want to see that, and it's just kind of nothing burger at the end there. No, not stop. Stop virtual camera. I don't need a virtual camera. Studio mode. That's what I was looking for the third time. So I don't know where my music was. I don't want to actually create anything, so I'm just gonna do some little maintenance here. And by maintenance I mean I need to get some lunch for myself. So with that, I thank you for the podcast. It was actually funny enough earlier than I expected, but I still got the time in. So thank you for joining. Hopefully I'll see you next week. This is SideQuest 9. Thank you. Off this entire time? I don't know.